This is Sportswrap Overtime, brought to you by HII, built in America for America. Welcome in to another show. Craig Loper, Jeff Snyder, Brian Parsons.
That would be the shipyard that we're talking about here. And did you know that the apprentice school is kind of like a feeder system to the shipyard? It's like on-the-job training, so to speak. But they have athletic programs.
They do. I just learned this 3-4 years ago.
Did you know that in 2002, 2003, 2024, and 2025, the apprentice school builders won the national basketball championship for their division? How about that?
That's awesome.
That is your shipyard stat of the week.
More winners here in Hampton Roads. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, and it's so cool though. But you get to play sports while you actually on the job training for a job that could be a very good job for a lot of years, building helping
necessary.
build the nuclear powered submarines and nuclear powered aircraft carriers.
About one of the highest skills you can have.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't do it.
No, that's why I work here.
You don't want me with a welding pipe.
Well, welcome into the show. It is Tuesday, September 30th at this point, and season's rolling along here in the fall. College football rolling along.
We're a quarter of the way into the season.
That's how it works. It always flies by, and we're gonna get right to the goods here. Saturday night in Norfolk, on a rainy night in Norfolk, ODU hosting Liberty, a team they hadn't beaten in a decade. And the Flames came into Norfolk, and the Flames were ousted quickly in a rainy night. I'm making rain puns now.
It was
21-7. The Monarchs roll at home at SB Ballard.
The only thing close in this game was the score.
Yeah,
because Old Dominion thoroughly dominated Liberty. They had 3 red zone turnovers. Which is very uncharacteristic. I think the rain had something to do with it.
For sure.
But Coach Ricky Ronnie said no, it didn't. He said, well, we'll take a look. We can judge for ourselves. Snyder, if you could please roll the clip here.
Go.
Look, when the head coach is running out in a full rain gear.
He changed at halftime, too.
Yeah, because he was probably drenched. That's a wet night.
And a lot of the
game
fans...
started at 6. When was it the worst, Brian?
Between 6 o'clock to 7:30. The first half was insane.
Yeah.
So Old Dominion gets off to a pretty good start here. They're marching the ball down the field. Colton Joseph had an amazing game. I wouldn't say amazing. He had a really good game.
Yeah.
18 to 26, 271 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have a pick.
15 carries for 76, too, man.
Threat.
That's if you can get 80 yards rushing out of your quarterback, pretty impressive.
That was one of the fumbles.
That's the fumbles,
The red zone fumble. I think was that the one that got punched out.
I think that one didn't have anything to do with the rain, but that pitch.
But look at this now. Liberty's pushed back.
Yeah.
And then that one might have had something. The rain might have had something to do with that one.
Yeah.
So Old Dominion gets the ball back, and you're thinking, all right, they're in business, right?
Right.
Okay. Got the ball right where we want it.
Is this the shovel pass play?
And
look at you could see it.
Yeah.
You could see how big the drops are through the camera, and Brian's 80 yards away from the action up top. He couldn't grab it. That's a fumble because of the rain. He couldn't grab the ball. So,
but like you see, it's pouring at that point.
But 21-7. I did hear some. I think they held them to under 220 total yards.
It was 203 yards. Liberty had 203 yards.
Yeah,
it's the fewest amount of yards Old Dominion has given up since against an FBS opponent. Look at the crowd.
Oh yeah.
They're still in there.
I think that's a swim team.
They do have swim caps.
Yeah, I'm serious. And the some of the clothes came off. The swimsuit stayed on, but some of the
So now at this point, the weather had cleared up a little bit. But just big picture here, right? We had the build up to this. Ricky's press conference was like he acknowledged we have not had success over this team in my time here. Right? They were 0-3 against Liberty since Ricky Ronnie's been the head coach.
Chris Trinidad with a big
and
sack.
Liberty has been the better team in all 3 of those meetings.
They weren't competitive.
Liberty. Honestly, they're in a total different part of the state, but man, they got a lot going on out there with those facilities. It's just, it felt like this was a game you had to win to restore some pride in beating a team from Virginia.
It's you're almost playing. Okay, Liberty's down this year. They're having a down year, but you're almost. It's like you're almost playing a Power 5-ish type of school without getting credit for playing a Power 5 or Power 4 school, as it would be now.
Because Liberty's so well funded. That's the key.
They had imagine what their NIL budget is. We'll never know. It's a private school.
Jamie Chadwell
touchdown there.
Went to outside of Jamie Chadwell being a very faithful man. He went there because they're paying him a lot more than Coastal could.
Yeah, right. I mean,
that's just the reality.
When Hugh Freeze was there before he went to Auburn, was making more than $4 million a year.
Crazy to say that at a G4 school.
It's got to be a record.
Definitely. But in terms of just getting there, Brian, at this game, the run game was working. They had it going. 25 first downs here. Traquan Jones, 16 carries, 89 yards. Like the first downs and their efficiency moving the ball, it just came at ease often in this game.
It's the offense is humming. The third year was the second year or third year with Kevin Decker.
I think it's
third year.
Third, yeah.
So things are rolling.
Definitely third.
They've got a good, healthy offensive line. I think one of the things Ronnie was saying after the game that he was most impressed with was how Old Dominion won the game in the trenches. And we've always said that's where the games are won and lost. And they have a very good, deep offensive line and a very good, deep defensive line. And that's going to win you games, especially in a conference like the Sun Belt, which is not particularly doing great this year as a league. It's basically ODU, JMU, and Texas State.
Yeah.
The Sagarin, are you familiar? Anybody familiar with the Sagarin rankings?
A little bit, but not too much.
They're kind of like a football power ranking. So you would kind of look at this before the college football playoff ratings come out. So, I mean, Sagarin, who do you think number one would be in Sagarin?
Ohio State.
Okay. So it's Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami, Penn State, Texas, Georgia, Indiana, Texas A&M. So now we're kind of look at the group of five. In relation to that, JMU is 53rd.
Okay.
Old Dominion is 59th.
Okay.
So they're kind of right there. So according to these power rankings, ODU and James Madison are far and away the two best teams in the Sun Belt.
Wow.
All right, look at this one here. What happens here?
Yeah, easy touchdown.
Is that a touchdown?
Looked like it to me.
No, they said it's a fumble because
his helmet came off.
Old Dominion apparently didn't have a proper camera on the line. They took like 8 minutes to review it, and then they said it was a fumble.
Wonder how they got to that conclusion. Maybe a different.
I think they should have looked at your video.
I'm serious. I should have given it to them. I mean, this is.
I wonder if that's
come on,
the
Old
pylon.
Dominion.
Like, is the pylon cam like the requirement? They don't have a pylon cam. Is that what it is?
If it's not a national televised game, I don't see why they would have one.
It's not even about the pylon cam. It's more about a camera on the goal line, right?
Yeah.
So we know this. Brian and I have shot enough games. Typically, when you do a game like an ESPN Plus game, or even, of course, ESPN, you're going to get the in-house crew, and you're going to have a guy with the wire, and then you're going to have the cameraman, and they go right on that goal line.
This is Ricky. This is Ricky after a intentional grounding, no call, then intentional grounding call. So they kind of flipped it, and look at him. He's not happy. He's going to throw the headset. He wants to throw the headset. He's like, no, you take it. I'm not going to throw it. I'll just pretend like I threw it, and I'll freak out here on the sideline.
Yeah. That was clearly in second half because he changed.
But the whole basically Old Dominion, they need to do some investments into their production, things like that. You need to have a proper goal line camera no matter what.
Yeah.
And some of the television broadcasts could probably use a little tweaking. And I'm only just saying eye test, if you compare it to the rest of the league.
Oh, that's a good shot.
It doesn't hold up.
No, I think that's a fair assessment. Let's get to some Ricky Ronnie post-game sound here about just, beating Liberty for the first time in Ricky Ronnie's head coaching tenure.
Obviously conference play doesn't mean more or anything like that, but it is, a little bit different just because that, listen, everybody wants to be a champion and conference champion and those sort of things. So all these games can help lead to that, but ultimately you still have to go 1-0 in each game in order to get that done. We're getting near the point where I would like to be in terms of execution on offense, defense, and special teams. And that's really what I, think about. I don't go through the schedule and say, all right, we should be this record after this date and this record after that date. I mean, that's not what I do. But I think we've made progress in terms of execution. There's still some things we have to work on, particularly, we got to continue to take care of the football a little bit better. We got to continue to be a little bit more physical and have a little bit fundamentals on some of our strike points and things like that. But other than that, I think we're doing some good things.
So that was clearly Ricky Ronnie on his Monday press conference, not his post game.
Yeah, talking about Coastal Carolina.
Right. Talking about Coastal and talking about where the team's at right now. Hey, shout out to the defense real quick. Let's just go back. Chris Trinidad, 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss on a sack. Yeah. Defense had 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss. I mean, they're playing great. They're playing great. They look good, and they're taking care of business, and they look like a team that could continue to progress and make some noise. So, and Ronnie seems confident in his group. The continuity with the coordinators that you always have preached this whole offseason, I think, is really showing in every phase of the game. Like that's big for them because it just doesn't happen in college football nowadays.
Yeah, right. Especially at this level.
Yeah, I mean, guys get picked off to wherever.
I forgot what the stat was, but Eric Bohannon, the SID, had brought it up during spring. Something like one of only. It's a very few amount of schools that return all three coordinators for their third year.
Well, because remember, in Ricky's tenure early on, he was going through offensive coordinators.
He was going through OCs.
And it was the thing. It was like, is he going to call the plays?
Yeah.
Are they going to call the plays?
Yeah,
And so
went through several. One of them that got let go
right before the season
ended up becoming the offensive coordinator in Michigan when they won the national championship.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting how that works out. But
Yeah.
Coastal is 2-2. Old Dominion is 3-1. Coastal got blown out by UVA, who we'll get to in a second. They beat Charleston Southern. ECU shut them out, and then they came back last week and they beat South Alabama in a Sun Belt game. So,
and Coastal's had ODU's number in recent years.
They 45-37 last year, I think. But get this, did you see the line of the game?
No. You're always in touch more with the lines than me.
18.5.
What?
Old Dominion.
Yeah.
These numbers, we haven't seen these types of double-digit spreads.
Right.
I mean, they were 14.5 over Liberty last week.
They barely missed it.
I know. They should have covered, man.
Vegas knows.
They should have been upset. Vegas knows.
You guys are locked in.
They should have been up 35-0.
These guys
honestly,
are locked in.
Vegas knows, man.
You know what's funny?
They know.
I heard this quick note. This has nothing to do with this, but someone on the radio at one point said, like, you're more likely to win money against Vegas betting like the oddball sports because those people are not nearly as locked in. But when it comes to like NFL and college football, like they know exactly what's going on. But you're better off betting like some random
like Russian darts,
whatever, like some random sport that you're just like, oh, they just put it out there,
or a conference. Like I remember back in when ODU was in the CAA in basketball, and gambling was illegal, and if there's only a way you could find a way to make bets with somebody like at a bookie at a bar. I don't know if that ever existed.
We don't know.
Anyway,
speculate.
I don't know. I think it's just.
I'd look at the CAA lines in some of these games, and I'd be like, no, there's no way that Drexel is going to beat ODU by 3 or whatever it was, And I was a lot of times I was very right, more so than they were because I knew the CAA.
They weren't locked in with the
they weren't locked in. Maybe they are nowadays.
Not really. I mean, I dabble in sports betting. College basketball is one of my money makers because they're not as locked in on the lower conference.
On the lower conferences.
Okay, they're still not.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It makes sense. In terms of Coastal's coming here Saturday, 6:00, 6:00 kick at SB Ballard Stadium. So that should be a good one. Coastal not led by Ethan Vasco. He was at Liberty. Ethan didn't play.
He was
Chesapeake
not dressed.
Native. He was not even dressed. So unfortunate that he didn't get a chance to play back in the 757.
These Monarchs deserve a packed house on Saturday night.
Yeah.
They were going to have it on this past Saturday, but I mean, come on.
Monsoon.
I don't care how big of a fan you are.
I was going to go to the game until I saw the
it was bad.
It's just, I mean, come on.
Where did I go? I drove Saturday right when after it hit. I went to the grocery store and I got on the road and I regretted it immediately. I was like, why am I even going?
No, it's terrible. It was terrible. 49th Street was flooding out. And a lot of times I like to shoot on the field.
Yeah, right.
But I made an executive decision where there's this little area up top below the press box on the top level. That's like a little perch, a camera well, so to speak. And it's covered.
Thank goodness for that.
And depending on the way the wind is blowing it, you might get wet up there, but the wind was blowing right and I was bone dry. So
there you go.
Got my shots and didn't get drenched and more importantly, protected the camera.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Well, ODU rolling along. So let's get to what happened in Charlottesville. We're going to continue college football over the weekend. Man, so this was Friday night. We all got back doing Friday night flights. All of us are kind of doing our games. We're trying to edit the games, but we got the UVA game on the TV. We got 6 TVs in the office. And we're locked into this, and it's like down to the wire. It's back and forth. All of a sudden, we're in double overtime. UVA scores first in double overtime. Florida State gets the ball back. And
what about the...
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Did they get it right? I mean, I think most people confirmed that they got it right. The dude didn't have possession on
I don't think he had it because it was close.
It was close. It was about as close as they get.
Let's say it's pre-replay.
Oh, he gets that.
And you see that play.
I thought he got it
initially. And they call it a touchdown. Would you be like, that wasn't a touchdown?
No, I thought he got it. Initially, first scene at it, I thought he got it.
That was a tough call, man.
But hey, UVA, going into the game, they were 3-46 all time against top 10 teams. 3-46.
Well, one of those wins, 1995 against number 2 Florida State in Charlottesville. 30 years anniversary.
30
Crazy.
years. The stars aligning for this UVA team to get this win on Friday night with their quarterback, Chandler Morris. Packed house. By the time overtime hit, we don't have any good pictures of it, unfortunately. We couldn't find any really good pictures to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
But the fans were on the field for the overtime sessions, or at least for the second overtime, right? Students were on the field. You kind of sense it was like, oh my God, if they win, they're going to storm the field. And it was a beautiful scene. The guy intercepts it in the end zone. I think we got one shot of the students
They
here on the field.
immediately.
I've never. Here it is.
The fastest field storm.
Never seen anything ever.
It went viral immediately.
Yeah.
Fastest field storm ever. It was incredible scenes. When they did the cutaway to Tony Elliott on it, they couldn't even. The cameraman was not in front of them. You know, they do the shot where the camera.
Yeah,
right
no,
in front. They had to go aerial because they couldn't even get a cameraman in there.
Well, yeah, that's probably why we don't have any good shots of the crowd.
Yeah, that's what I just told Brian. I was trying to. I said, "What photographer's brave in that?"
Unless he was in the stands.
Yes, you need one from the area. We couldn't find it.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
because
So.
you know how UVA. I mean, if you're not familiar, hopefully you are. But if you're not familiar, UVA has this hill.
Yeah,
in one of the end zones, and that's where the students sit.
That's where they hang out.
and that's how they were able to just get down there so quickly.
Right, and no security stopping. You remember that old viral video of the guy patting the people through the soccer game.
You ever seen the one of someone storming the field and the guys
are going like this?
Yeah,
I sent it to Brian and James recently in a different context, but yes,
They tried to get the goalpost down, but those things must be buried in there now.
right. Yeah, I saw that.
They tried.
You see the one guy fall off the goalpost?
Yeah.
So apparently, like some people were injured during this.
I bet they
Yeah, I
were.
would imagine.
Yeah, and UVA was fine for.
And then all
But-
a terrible thing, but it was fake news. Fake news accounts were tweeting out that the Florida State wide receiver who was down on the ground passed away in the field. So it was like, come on, man. Like that would have been headline breaking. It was fake news. That was not real. So do not believe that.
A couple minor,
no player
but a
passed
couple
away.
fans, maybe.
Someone probably tore some ACLs though.
Or, maybe
A couple
sprained
bruises.
ankle.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, man, when you make a lot of omelets, sometimes you're going to break a few eggs. That's just the way it goes.
This UVA team, so the fifth best offense in FBS right now. This Chandler Morris kid from North Texas.
Yeah,
right?
he transferred from North Texas.
Which is a proud program. They got players, man.
The Mean Green.
71% completion rate, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He got 4. This guy's leading the way, man. And Tony Elliott's offense looks like a modern, slick, creative offense.
And they're protecting the quarterback, too.
Protecting the quarterback. Guys are open. They got a lot going on. Good stuff. They're running guys all over the field, motion, and all this.
Running back by committee, too, which seems to be the thing these days.
That's it, unless you got a workhorse back there.
I'd say this is easily the best UVA team in my 10 years of living in Virginia, I would say.
Well,
No,
they had one that went to the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, Bronco.
We'll see how that. We'll see how this ends up.
Yeah, I know, but they look really good.
I think that Orange Bowl year they were 10-3.
Yeah,
that's probably the
That was
best.
Broncos' big year.
Yeah, that's the best one so far. So, but good, this game, man. The throwback jerseys looked awesome. 1995. I'm sure there was a lot of legends in town.
Great.
All that type of
uniform combo there. I loved it.
And Florida State 8th ranked in the country. Mike Norvell comes in, and it was just a great thing to watch. We have to be doing the show, but to see it on the TV, we're like, oh my God, it's a big game when like everybody in the newsroom's coming back to like check it out, to watch the inning, because we won't shut up about it.
Fortunately, I was able to get. I was the first one back this week, so I was able to get my stuff in and able to watch it.
It was
30 years ago.
The stars, man. The stars aligning. That's so cool.
It doesn't feel like 30 years.
No. Whenever you think 95, you think 20 years ago, but it's crazy. That's not.
I mean, I was 22.
Yep.
I was 4.
I was 22, and I remember vividly. I remember watching the end of the game. I was interning at Channel 3,
right?
And I think the game ended after the news. Mm-hmm. And everybody came into the booth, all the news anchors. Tom Randalls was the main anchor, and they all came into the booth to watch the end of the game on a monitor and to watch Warwick Dunn get stopped at the goal line on that direct snap.
The direct snap. Yeah, they replayed that on the ESPN broadcast.
And that was so significant because UVA was the first AC team to hand Florida State an ACC loss. Florida State wasn't independent, and I guess they joined the ACC around 91, 92. And when they came in, man, that was peak Florida State, Bobby Bowden, Charlie Warden, all that, and they were just beating the pants off of every ACC school. And back then, the ACC, there was no Miami, there was no Tech, there was no. It was it was Maryland, UVA, UNC, Duke, Wake, NC State, Georgia Tech,
all the traditionals,
Clemson.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, Bobby Bowden, man, they did a cutaway shot of Bowden when he gets stuffed. He's got the thick glasses on, and he's just looking like he was in his prime. He was just shocked. It was crazy. So, unbelievable game, fun to watch. And who's got UVA's at Louisville this week? So I mean, that should be another win. I don't know what Louisville's.
Yeah, I think Louisville's favored.
Oh, are they really? Okay, all right. Well,
So we talk about what you've. Yeah, I know we weren't planning on talking about this, but I think we do have to mention that Virginia Tech, man.
Yeah,
they won
2 in a row.
They won.
Yeah.
They beat an ACC school.
Yep.
They looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? So you've been on a college football team. You were at Oregon, so you didn't have to deal with anything like this. But imagine the situation though, if maybe somebody's voice just isn't working and somebody else comes in, can it really make a difference?
It can. It can make a difference. It's gonna. If he keeps winning, then you have to consider making him the man, right? But yes, the voice can make a difference for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know if it's how they practice. I don't know if guys showing up. I don't know. Maybe something wasn't clicking with Brent Pry to his players, and you got to have players that want to play for you ultimately, and then you got to scheme it up, put these guys in position to win. So Philip Montgomery, it's not like he's a guy that's never been a head coach. He was leading the Tulsa program that was a proud program,
going to bowl games every year.
So he knows what it takes to get this thing kind of churning in the right direction. Speaking of Virginia Tech and head coaches, the big news. I mean, the board of directors.
What does all this mean?
200. How much? So I don't know what the number was.
$227 million.
So to increase in like 40 or 50 million a year. The way I view it is real simple. It means athletic infrastructure, facilities gets better. Here's the main thing I think it means. Head coach salary and the assistant coaching pool is the key. That's what people don't always realize.
And rev share for the players.
Of course.
Was that just for the football program, or was that for the
No, it's for the athletic department.
Okay.
No, it's for the whole athletic department. It's going to be a whole increase in budgeting for the athletic department. But the pool for assistant coaches in college football is so important because if you do the numbers, Georgia's pool's whatever, $7 million, $8 million, right? But then Tech might have been $2 million, right? So you can't pay the assistant coaches enough. So the Virginia Tech is a spot where guys on the lower tier are going to stop and then get out of. You're never going to hold guys in. Kirby Smart at Alabama was the D coordinator for a decade, because he was getting paid well and they were winning national championships, and he only took the job to Georgia because it was Georgia and he couldn't have another choice. At Tech, they can't pay assistants, so they're quick to leave. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So it seems like some good's going to come out of that. I think it was 13-1 was the vote or something like that. That's all it was, though. Board of directors approved Tech to get all this money, and I guess in the coming years we'll see how it shakes out. But Philip Montgomery doing his thing.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool too that if you're a Tech fan, it's so easy to give up on life. After an 0-3 start, but there's still a lot of football left, man.
So much football left.
And you have your whole conference coming up.
Whole conference slate.
What if, man?
What if
go on some wins?
What if UVA and Tech, man? What if that game is meaningful? Like
Tech is 6.5-point favorites over Wake Forest this week.
Okay. All right.
Who hung tough with Georgia Tech.
Did they? Okay.
Wake did.
All right.
They went for 2 in overtime to win it.
And they missed it.
And they think the guy threw an interception.
Georgia Tech, man, rolling. Haynes King and those guys.
Haynes King, man.
I got a buddy who works in Atlanta, so anytime Georgia Tech does something crazy on the weekends, he just texts B's in all caps, B-E-E-S,
Let's take a real quick, just mention Tech's few games coming up. Okay, so you got Wake at home.
Yeah.
At Georgia Tech. That's going to be a tough one.
Loss.
Home to Cal. Cal's not as bad.
Good?
Sneaky good.
All right.
Home against Louisville, at FSU, home to Miami, at UVA. So
that 3 at the end are
that's
tough.
a tough little stretch, actually.
Florida State, Miami, UVA, that's crazy. Yeah. No, but maybe Coach Montgomery can get it done and get some juice in these guys going, and they're kind of sorting out sort of the transfer portal stuff. Now that the 4 games has passed, there'll be more clarity on the roster. Coaches can kind of know who's out there and ready to play and commit to this process. So we'll see what happens.
Why do people hate James Franklin so much?
Okay, I'll tell you why, because I don't like James Franklin. Because he is, for one, he has a reputation handling media like what's the word?
Condescending?
Like, condescending attitude, putting people down. I'm better than you sort of persona.
Yep.
That's kind of number one. Like if you look at some of his press conferences over the years, when he gets faced with some tough questions, he's kind of like combative with students as well. He's done that with students up there in the past, like student reporters kind of getting berated. Number 2 is I think he has this arrogance or confidence, but he doesn't have the results to back it up. That's probably number 1.
Okay. That's not everybody can win the national championship.
No, not the national championship, but
he doesn't win any big games.
But he doesn't lose any games he's not supposed to.
He doesn't.
No, that's right.
Name one.
No. He's
No, I agree with that.
He's not losing to Northern Illinois. Notre Dame did. They went to the playoff.
He's where he should be, but I think what it is Penn State and that program and he likes to act like they belong, and they're not there. They're not Michigan. They're not Ohio State.
Exactly.
And they're.
That's the thing.
He's not there.
That's what my problem is. I think James Franklin is fine.
I'm sure he's fine.
I think it's the Penn State fans that are delusional, thinking Penn State is bigger than they really are. They are what they are. They haven't won a national title since 1988.
88. Okay, got it. Yeah.
That's just kind of like.
I think what
have they done?
I think if you're Penn State, you're not on the level of Ohio State, Michigan, but every once in a while you'd like to get a win against those guys, and Franklin just hasn't done it. His track record is consistent. Like, he doesn't beat the big guns at all. Like, he has no shot.
He's like 1-10 against top 10 teams.
Yeah, and it's not just Michigan and Ohio State; it's other top 10 teams too.
They haven't beat Ohio State since 2016. Yeah. They're not beating them.
I'll give you a pass on Ohio State. Like, that's you shouldn't expect to beat Ohio State, but the other top 10 teams. In Oregon, they played the Big Ten championship last year. That was a winnable game for them.
But they never lose.
No, that's why
they don't lose games they should lose.
They don't have bad losses.
No, they don't.
I would argue
with the exception of there's one year that they kind of 2020 was a weird year for everybody.
Yeah, but when they lost to Indiana, that was
right.
That was
2020 doesn't count.
I don't count that because the thing is. I would argue that for James Franklin, and look, I don't care.
We don't have a dog in the
No,
fight.
absolutely not. I'm just just for devil's advocate. I'm saying he doesn't have any bad losses.
Nope.
Losing to Ohio State's not a bad loss.
No, it never is.
Losing to Michigan's not a bad loss.
I think it's his personality and demeanor that people don't like.
Remember, most Penn State fans are fans professionally of the Eagles or the Steelers, two fan bases that have ridiculous expectations. Mm-hmm. So that transfers over to Penn State.
Look,
and it just does.
I was locked into that Oregon game, and I thought Penn State was winning that thing. I thought Penn State was winning.
Oregon was choking at the end.
Yes.
No, they had it, man. Yeah, they had a chance to win it.
And I was almost like, hey, man, Oregon, that's a respectable loss. You go into that environment, and you know 110,000 people, and you lose in a close game, whatever. And then that guy gets the pick, and overtime, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh, my phone's
What happened? Did the quarterback not see him? Or did he try to go over him?
He didn't try to loft it high enough. I think he was trying to like squeeze it into a tight window. He didn't loft it, it looked like. So
yeah.
But in terms of just emotion, I'll tell you what, NBC did a great job presenting that game on Saturday night. The crowd, the whiteout, the shots, everything about that felt really big. The sideline reports, the shots in the booth, incredible. Dan Lanning's interview post-game, incredible. He's the opposite of James Franklin. Everybody on the internet loves Dan Lanning because he coaches with his heart on his sleeve. It's no coach speak. He really cares about the guys. He's getting emotional. He's fired up, dude. He takes risks and he shows it all, and he speaks with transit. He's awesome.
What won me over for Dan Lanning was, I think it was last year when they played Colorado.
It might have been 2
last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, last year, I think.
And he said nothing to them before the game until Prime said something before the game.
Right.
And he's like, all right, you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
Let's go punch him in the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, that
for lack of better terms.
Yeah.
And they kicked the crap out of him.
No, yeah.
You talk about the presentation. NBC and Fox, I've said it for years.
Yeah.
Hands down the best production of sports.
It was awesome.
Sporting events.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Those are the two. It's 1-2.
It's
It's CBS and ESPN, ABC aren't even remotely in the same ballpark.
I think CBS is good. Good at certain things.
I miss the old SEC on CBS for sure.
I got the theme song this week with Ohio State.
I just don't think CBS is in CBS and ESPN, ABC. The problem is, like, for example, even watching last night, is there was a big play in one of the games and they don't show a replay.
Oh, you talking? Oh, yeah. You talking Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
No, the replays are terrible.
They don't show replays. They show slow motion shots of the guys doing other things. They may not show a replay until they come back from the break. If they do show on NBC and Fox, they are showing multiple replays immediately after the plays.
Here's a pet peeve of mine. This and ESPN does this. This guy scores a touchdown. They do all the other shots except for the replay. They wait for the PAT to get, like, show me a replay.
And then show the replay as they're going to break.
Yes.
They do that,
I hate that
all the time.
Score the touchdown, cue up the replay while the PAT team is coming onto the field, and then go to break after the PAT. It's just drives me.
And the way I can tell you that how attuned to this I am, because, when we're cutting highlights from games, sometimes we want to use the low angle replays. for video purposes. And if a game was broadcast on CBS or ESPN, ABC, then there aren't enough.
There's not enough replays.
There aren't enough replays.
Yeah, right. No,
but
ABC
CBS better than ESPN, ABC.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, my Ducks, awesome win, great win. But the James Franklin is funny because he is a kind of a hated character in that.
I will
space.
say the one thing I want to say about that game though,
we're gonna wrap it up
is if Drew Aller were actually good, he'd be at Ohio State.
I don't know the history behind that.
Who is that?
That's
Drew Aller is the
quarterback
Penn State quarterback. He was.
You're saying he's not any good?
I've said if he were good enough, he'd be at Ohio State. He was an Ohio kid, grew up an Ohio State fan. We would.
Oh, they didn't offer him, right?
They did not offer him at all.
That's right. I heard.
Nah,
that story
come
a
on.
couple years ago.
You're talking like a fan.
Yeah, you're right. I am.
Come on.
Okay, we got to take a break. We're coming right back on Sports Wrap Overtime, brought to you by HII. Welcome back to Sports Wrap Overtime, brought to you by HII. Craig Loper, Brian Parsons, Jeff Snyder in the house.
I got a little tidbit here for you.
Okay.
So, we talked about the apprentice school dynasty in basketball. The apprentice school basically is a place where people learn how to develop skills to work in the shipyard, which is HII.
Right.
Kind of a trade school, right? Exactly. But they also won a football national title in 2018. Elton Brown on that staff, who is now a member of Michael Vick's coaching staff.
Yeah, I think
at Norfolk State. Elton Brown went to UVA and
O-line coach, kinda
gigantic offensive lineman. Yeah.
No,
From Newport News.
There we go. A lot of 757.
And speaking of Norfolk State,
man, the Spartans go to Staten Island over the weekend. They lose to Wagner.
Michael Vick said it was a must-win game.
Michael Vick said it was a must-win game last week at his press conference. They did not win it. 18-13, the final score. Couldn't get going. They held a lead. They did hold a lead at one point in the game in the second half, and they relinquished that lead. And all of a sudden, Norfolk State is kind of in shambles right now. They don't look good. They're rough. They're struggling to move the ball. They're struggling to get anything going. And I don't know. You can't lose to Wagner, man. You just can't.
No.
You can't. Yeah. It's not a good look.
No, you can't lose to Sacred Heart, which they did the week before, and you can't lose to Wagner. To me, those are the games on the schedule that were the layups.
Yes.
That were on there to get some wins before the conference slate starts, which you only have 5 conference games as it is.
Right.
Deshaun Jackson doing a lot better at Delaware State. They've already got 3 wins.
Yeah.
The only win they have this year is against the Division II school.
Yeah.
And that was only by 3 in overtime.
Overtime, I know.
Something's not clicking, man. It's rough to watch, to say the least. These are the questions about Vic and his staff, is the experience and what it looks like, and maybe that's coming into play here. Now, look, first year, maybe he doesn't have all the guys in there he wants, but hey, the transfer portal, that's kind of no more excuses with that anymore. Once the transfer portal, if you get a bunch of guys, you get 50, they got 50 transfers in the portal. So you got guys that you recruited that you looked at. This is not the college football of old where 15 years ago, it's going to take you 3 recruiting classes to kind of get you guys.
There's also been, like, for example, today, James Cotado went to the press conference and they couldn't find Michael Vick. They couldn't find the head coach for the weekly press conference.
Yeah, I think there's...
And they finally corralled him down, and he came in. They had to wait an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, now we're bordering on unprofessional. Mm-hmm. We're bordering on a team that's trying, a university that's trying to treat this like a big-time situation when they can't even provide the head coach at the time he's supposed to be available every single week. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't happen at Division I football,
right?
And this isn't the first time it's happened this year.
Yep, yeah. Tuesdays at 2:00 is when we're supposed to talk.
If you want to play with the big dogs, then you gotta act like it, man. And they're not.
You got to know the weekly schedule.
They're not acting like it. There's been even problems with us having the proper credentials, and just organizationally, this program. I don't know if they were ready for a Michael Vick to come in there and make this big splash, because it hasn't happened yet. And
I don't think Michael Vick was ready.
They're
1-4. They're getting beat by bad football teams.
Yeah, they're not a good football team. That's just a fact. That's not anybody who.
And Hampton is struggling as well.
Yeah, but hey, look, Battle of the Bay means a lot to a lot of people in 757.
Yes.
Let's put up some video of Battle of the Bay over the years. I've been at this game the last few years. It's been great. It's been fun. 2 out of 3 games have been really good. The game in 2024 was pretty much a blowout. Hampton handled Norfolk State at home, but Norfolk State beat them up at Hampton in 2023, and then that 2021 game was a double overtime thriller. Going to have the bands. They're going to have a good time. Should be people coming out. This one up at Armstrong Stadium in Hampton.
Wish it was at Norfolk State.
Yeah.
Because, you know, just the bigger capacity, just to see, they would have to take the tarps off.
Yeah.
At Norfolk State, because I think this game they would fill it up.
Yeah,
I really do.
So this is a good game.
Awesome atmosphere. I love this game.
Two struggling teams, but it's a great. That's why I kind of put up the multitude of shots here between Norfolk State and Hampton. And like I said, I've been at this game in recent years. It's always a good time. People show out, and hopefully it's a good one, man. Hopefully you get a good game down to the end. And
it has been.
It has been. It has been in recent years. That's was that Chris Zellis? Yeah, Zellis is gone now from Hampton, but this is the 2024 game, and Hampton came in and handled business. This game really wasn't close, but the two prior to that were really close down the wire.
Talk about
both Norfolk State wins.
This is two teams in desperate need of a win. Hampton's only win was over D2 Elizabeth City State. NSU's only win over D2 Virginia State, as Jeff had mentioned. They need this, man.
If you can get it against a rival too, you feel better. But yeah, it's gonna be, hopefully it's a good environment, man, and people show up. We love the Battle of the Bay. We love covering it. We'll be there start to finish. And two teams that, like Brian just said, desperate for a win. So you got to turn the page.
Wild next week. So Norfolk State's on the road again.
Yep.
At Wofford. Their first conference game isn't until October 25th.
Yeah. I know. That's right. Only five conference opponents to play.
Which makes you think that they should have more than one MEAC championship in their history. That's kind of crazy, man.
2012.
In this area with all this talent?
Yeah. It's been an interesting case study, Norfolk State football.
I mean,
program,
look at basketball.
You would know that more than me.
Basketball, they've been dominant, men's and women's. But they've just never been able to get it together in football.
Fans are waiting for basketball season.
The fans are waiting for basketball season.
Yeah, we'll be there. It's a
Robert Jones,
4 o'clock kick at Armstrong Stadium. So looking forward to that. I guess how much time we got here? 12 minutes?
Yeah.
We'll take one more break, and then we'll come back and talk some NFL and superlatives, I guess. Okay, welcome back to Sports Wrap Overtime. Our final block is we're going to get to some NFL news. The Commanders fall to the Atlanta Falcons 34-27 over the weekend at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Commanders are 2-2. They look old, guys. They look old, and that's kind of all the talk is like.
Well, aren't they the oldest team in the league?
Oldest team in the NFL.
They look how they are.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore. I mean,
old.
Look, no Jaden. No Terry McLaurin, right? Like that is huge for that team.
Smart. You saw some of the breakdowns on these Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Man, what was the how many 15+ yard plays?
It's bad.
He was targeted so many times, and my goodness.
With Lattimore, they took a risk bringing him in last year because you had a declining player with a history of injuries that had been declining for a couple years. They were hoping maybe he could be that one piece and he could do just enough to take them over the edge. And I respect Adam Peters for trading for Lattimore last year because he saw that they had a window and he went for it. Like that's awesome. And then really, it wasn't a huge commitment long term because basically you can cut him after this year, or you could trade him really right now. Or you could cut him this year and you'd be fine. So I respect the move. Lattimore is going to get a lot of hate because he's just not. He's a declining player. He's 30+, and he's just not there. He's not there. They're going to target. They went after him a lot. Drake London, Marshawn Lattimore, they went after him a lot. Bijan Robinson for Atlanta. Stat line, good, unbelievable game. 17 carries, 75 yards, a touchdown, 4 catches, 106 yards. So he had almost 200 all-purpose yards on however many 21 touches and a touchdown. Like crazy game for him.
Yeah, difference between the NFL and college though. You had 2-2. The sky's not falling.
No,
at all.
Not at all. No, not at all. I mean, they got to get Jaden and Terry back. That's just what it is. I mean, Marcus tries to do his best in there. He goes 16-27, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. They just didn't have it. They didn't have it. Debo surprisingly looks good. 6 catches, 72 yards and a touchdown. He's sort of carrying the offense.
McCaffrey
is
starting.
Got his first NFL touchdown. Yeah. So they got some pieces. Yeah. But on defense, man, the age factor showing up. Dan Quinn is harping on this consistently. They don't create any turnovers. They just don't create any turnovers at all, and opportunities to get the ball back from the opposing team. So he's harping on that big.
So 34-27 lost at Atlanta, and another road trip coming up this time cross country and at SoFi Stadium to take on Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and Chargers just came up a loss.
LA Chargers.
Who they lose to this past weekend?
Chargers?
They just lost, and I forgot who it is.
Chargers lost
It
to.
was a game I thought they were supposed to win.
It was. I was watching it.
It was
The Giants.
Giants.
Yeah, geez, yeah. Jackson Dart just beat them. Was that at MetLife? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, it was at MetLife. Yeah. So, yeah, two weeks in a row on the road. They're going to be hungry. That's a tough road trip. You know, NFL, it's always about the travel. So going that far out west, man, and playing a team coming off a loss.
Chargers 2.5.
Yeah.
Point favorites.
Chargers got 3 wide receivers that can really go, man. Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, and Ladd McConkey. So they're going to test that secondary real quick in a hurry. We got to know, at the time of this recording, we don't know Jaden's status. We don't know Jaden's status. We don't know Terry says. They got to get Jaden back. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no season if you don't have Jaden Daniels back there, you know. And he's got to, even in the games he's played in, it's been a little wonky. So you got to start getting in there and fine tuning everything, man.
It really is such a long season.
It's a long season. So we'll see what happens. In terms of other NFL games, man, can we just talk about the Cowboys-Packers? I don't know if you guys were locked in.
Oh, that was crazy.
Whew. 40-40.
Oh, yeah, that was a tie.
Overtime tie.
Scorigami, baby.
Scorigami, highest scoring tie since 1964. I was locked in, especially the second half. First half, I was second half, the two teams ended on 9 combined scoring drives. So the offenses were immaculate. They were just like,
Please explain to me why they reduced overtime from 15 minutes to 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never understood that.
I think maybe is that a player safety thing?
Bull crap.
No, dude.
No, I'm saying, is that what they're saying?
I know, but there are more collisions this week on kickoff. This whole kickoff thing is supposed to be the safest thing in the world. Somebody's going to get paralyzed on this. These guys are getting teed off on the head.
Yeah, no, it's great. And then the guys can't kick it in the end zone, so there's penalties because of it. It's people are actually clamoring. Like if you read comments and stuff, like just go back to the old kickoff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And the NFL's, you don't see it in high school, you don't see it in college. The NFL is the only league that does it.
Go back to the old kickoff,
because they stole it from the XFL.
But the 15-minute, the 5 minute, going from 15 to 10 in the overtime period, I think it's stupid.
Idea.
I don't understand.
No idea.
My theory was always they didn't want the overtime game if it were a 1 o'clock game. They didn't want it to bleed too far into the next window.
Interesting.
That was my backdoor theory.
Yeah, right. That's a possibility.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
It's like, I don't know. Ties suck.
Yeah, it does. It sucks. It doesn't feel like anyone walks away with anything. Let me just say this. I'm going to throw something out there, and I brought it up with our director, Justin Ravenscroft, yesterday. My solution to the tie, all right? And I haven't thought this all the way through, but the quick off-the-top thing, because I was watching this game, I'm like, how could we do this? Here's my thought, okay? Regular overtime ends. Play the normal the normal overtime. You're in a tie. And then I think, here's my solution, and I don't know if this would go over well, but I think it's cool. You start going blow for blow, and you kick a 40-yard field goal. Green Bay comes out, 40 yards, you make it. Dallas comes out, you get a chance to match. 40-yarder, you make it. Back them up to 45. Mm-hmm. Green Bay misses it. Dallas goes out, 45, you make it, game's over.
I think you got to start at the 50.
Oh, 50-yard kick?
Yeah, with the way these guys are now?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Oh, how about this?
I say 45.
Or 40, 35-yard line, blindfolded.
Yeah,
that's how we do it.
So when in this situation, we're talking like the whole special teams unit is out. We're not just sending out the
No.
You
get a chance to block it. The opposing team sends out their block unit.
So it's not like
you got to block it up.
It's not like the shootout in hockey, which has been a little controversial.
No, not one-on-one kicker versus the goalpost. No, you get a chance to block it. Send your kicking team out. You get a chance to match. You make it quick. Put 2 minutes on the clock, so it's not taking forever. You get one timeout.
There used to not be a 3-point shot in basketball. You used to be able to hand check. There wasn't a 2-point conversion in football.
Right.
Look at the new kickoff rule.
Yeah.
The ghost runner in baseball, the pitch clock. Guess what? You know what? Sports change.
Yeah, just do it.
Things change. And it's not always going to be like it was when Babe Ruth was
I think you
hungover
I thought
and
about
3 home runs in a game.
I was in the car driving to work yesterday, and I thought about that. I was like, just do the kickoff. I don't know what you would call it.
Something.
You need a name for it. But everybody gets a chance to block it. You put 2 minutes on the clock. Each coach gets one timeout. You don't get two timeouts.
I like some sort of. I'm not going to commit to your proposal.
Of course, there would be kinks that needs to be worked
these
out.
lines. Yes,
but also adds more value to special teams. Special teams is a forgotten unit in the NFL, especially with this onside. If people are complaining about onside kicks, the kickers they're getting better. They're obviously great. So hey, they have more of a platform. Maybe they make more money long term. And your kicker now really means something in this. It's a rare scenario. It's not like every week we're going into games are ending into ties. It's the rare scenario. I think people would tune into that and be like, oh, there's a kick, sudden death going on.
I agree. And if people, the sanctimony of the game, they look this.
No,
look, this isn't the Emancipation Proclamation. We're talking about here. This is sports, and it's meant to be fun. And then also, you want a winner and a loser.
Yes, and then player safety. Hey, man, you're not. It's one PAT. You line them up. It's not like you're doing a whole kickoff thing and you're banging heads. It's one PAT. It's not that bad. I don't think anybody's getting hurt on PATs too much.
Hey, do you think an NFL quarterback could get away with wearing one of those weird big helmet things?
A guardian cap?
Yeah,
for sure.
An NFL quarterback, or do you think it'd be kind of like...
Get away with it?
Yeah, or do you think it'd be kind of like...
people would make fun of him.
A quarterback.
Yeah. People, you could wear it. It would look weird. Yeah, because Romeo Dobbs went viral with it. It was so funny. Apparently, they say it works. Some guys say they hate it. Other guys are like, I don't even know what's on my head.
It'll be heavier.
You would think so.
Yeah, you're like more weight.
Who was the Bills safety who wore the pro cap?
Oh my gosh, Jordan Poyer?
No. I'm talking years and years ago.
Oh, I don't know.
Like 80s, 90s.
I don't even know what the pro cap was.
It was similar to the Guardian cap. It was just an extra piece that was glued onto the helmet.
Oh, I don't remember this.
Huge. And I forget the guy's name, but he spoke at my college, and he said it really saved his head.
Oh, wow.
So
it's supposed to be...
Yeah, anything that saves these guys for the future, I'm okay with.
Just do the sudden death kickoff, man. Put the kickers on a big platform. Start it at 40 yards, go to 45. I think it would take another 15 minutes, if you put the play... You don't even need the play clock
Drones.
What? Like follow the field.
No, you have like drones blocking it too. You have to get through the drones.
We're getting some
obstacle course.
Right.
Yeah, look over there. See Dan Quinn working at the drone machine trying to.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I just thought about it yesterday. I'm like, man, just give me a solution to it, and guys don't have to bang heads more. And I think people would.
You cannot have a game in that spotlight end in a tie.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what the players were.
Everyone was just like, what?
What? That's it? Really?
It sucks. It wasn't good for anybody.
Who was it a couple of years ago? It was like, I didn't even know there could be ties.
Yeah, someone said that.
Someone had
One of the players. And most people forget about it.
Well, Donovan McNabb, I remember one year didn't even know the rules.
Right.
I think that's who you were talking about.
That may be it.
I think it was McNabb.
Some of the guys, man, you get in these overtime situations and they don't know. They don't know. So interesting NFL week. Going into week 5.
And then people like at home be like, how could they not know? Well, you know what? They're worrying about inside the lines.
Yeah, man. And it's tough. Yeah, they don't go. It's impossible to go through every single scenario week to week.
And it's so easy when you're on the couch to like,
so easy.
Why didn't that coach call a time? With the clock, he ran 10 seconds. He can't. Well, do you know what? There's a lot going on, man.
There's a lot going on. Right, indeed. All right, we're going to wrap it up on this episode of Sports Wrap Overtime.
That one's more correct there.
Oh, okay. We got a little bit. I guess we got 50 seconds. NFL Week 5, Bills and Eagles, the only undefeated teams left. A lot of drama in Philly right now.
Phoebus' winning streak was snapped at 51 games.
Phoebus.
They were going to tie the record held by Phoebus at 52, and they lost.
Warwick goes to, was that at Darlene or Todd?
Todd.
It was at Todd. Okay, so Warwick in a home game beats
Todd
Phoebus, man. Snaps the 51-game win streak. So
it finally happened.
It's been a long time since the mid-2000s.
And Phoebus Phantoms head coach Jeremy Blunt was gracious in defeat.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great leader of young men.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was a great Saturday of football up there on the peninsula. So shout out to all the high school football fans, and be sure to tune in to Friday Night Flights this weekend. All right, we're going to sign off. Sports Wrap Overtime for Brian Parsons and Jeff Snyder. I'm Craig Loper. We will see you next time. Have a good one.